friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome back to another book haul. This is going to be a very long video. I have a lot of books to talk about today, so oh my goodness, really grab a snack, grab a drink. It's going to be a wild ride for sure. This is my reminder to you to hydrate, drink your water, your tea, your coffee, whatever you're drinking whenever you're watching this. And let's get into the books that I acquired in the months of February and March. Okay, so usually I feel like I would start with the books that I bought myself and then move into subscription box books, but I think I'm gonna do it the other way around this time because I have less subscription box books than I have books I bought myself. I want to talk about it. It's been a time. So let's just start with the one I have right here on the top. There's no particular order to this. There's no organization other than subscription box books. So the first one that I have is The Grace of Wild Things by Heather Fawcett. This is a middle grade book that I got in an Owlcrate junior box. It does have a signed book plate. I don't think there's anything underneath the dust jacket, but no, nothing underneath the dust jacket. I don't remember anything about this middle grade. I remember thinking it sounded cute when I was originally reading the synopsis. It says, inspired by Anne of Green Gables, this is a magical story of found family, loss, and the power of a girl's imagination. So I definitely need to read more middle grade. I keep saying that every time I haul a middle grade or think about middle grade, but I don't tend to pick it up as much, but definitely one that I want to get to soon, and I love this cover. Then we have the next book that I got in my Afterlight box. This is a Owlcrate romance subscription box, and this is X's and O's by Amy Leah. Very, very cute. I really like their editions. I think they're really pretty, and I like the fact that these romance books have sprayed edges. I don't, again, remember anything about this book. Can they break the habits of a lifetime and give their spark a chance? No clue. I know this is the influencer series, so I think it has something to do with influencers as one of the either hero or heroine, so I'm interested to see how this goes. I'm hoping to get to more of my Afterlight books in a video soon, so hopefully I can get that done. Then we have an Owlcrate exclusive, and that is Cursed by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book in the Gilded series. This one is silver. The first one is gold. No dust jacket. Bare book, and it's very, very gorgeous. I do not know too much about the first book. All I know is it's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and I've heard good things about it so far. I have loved everything else I have read by Marissa Meyer, with like one book as an exception, and I'm really excited to get around to this series. It's high on my priority list for this year, and I definitely wanted the matching book in the series, so glad that I acquired this one. Up next, we got a book that came in an Owlcrate box. This is Revel by Lissa Maya Smith. Again, I do not know anything about these. I think this is like Carval meets something else. Sounds like a interesting book about illusions and magic. There is going to be a romance of some sort. Typical YA fantasy fashion. I'm excited to give it a go. It is a stunning edition. I love the end papers on here and really pretty under the cover dust jacket art and some embossing. So I'll get to it eventually. There is a letter from the author inside as well as it's signed. So hopefully I like this one. I feel like with any subscription box book at this point, I read the synopsis one time, promptly forget about it, and then hope to find a time that it's going to come up that I can read it. So we'll see. Up next, we have For Her Consideration by Amy Spalding. This book is going to come up a second time in this haul, so stay tuned for that. But this one came in another Afterlight box, and this is a queer romance. There is writing involved. Set in the backdrop of Hollywood. She was scorned by a past lover, I believe, has written off romance friends and her dream of writing a screenplay, and this new woman comes into her life and makes her rethink all of her choices. So, sounds like it's going to be good. I also believe it is plus-size representation, and I absolutely love this edition. It's so pretty, so gorgeous. We love to see it. So, hopefully, I like this one because I now have 2 copies. Then I have a full series to haul for you, and that is the Kiss Quotient series by Helen Huang, the trilogy. These are gorgeous editions, but my ring light is like totally washing them out, but that's what they look like. We have the first book, which is the Kiss Quotient. These are all by Helen Huang. That is what the back looks like. Stunning end papers. I don't know if they're the same on both sides, but we can double check. No, they are different. There's that one, and then it has really pretty designs on the front of the hardcovers. This one has like mathematical equations or something. This is the first book in the series. Fake dating. I'm pretty sure, is this one. Excited to have this edition. Then we have my least favorite in the series, that is the Bride Test. This one, again, is very, very pretty. Really happy to have these. This is not my favorite one in the series. And this is what it looks like underneath. This one, this one is like a marriage of convenience. And the last one, which is my favorite, the Heart Principle. Absolutely stunning. I just got these in today, so I'm very happy to have these. I love this one. This is such a tearjerker. So beautiful. And then the outside, it looks like that. So stunning. I don't remember the exact tropes for this one, but this one is my favorite out of all of them. Up next, we have Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman, the third one that came out from Fairyloot or Owlcrate. Fairyloot. Beautiful bright green sprayed edges, of course, signed by Alice Oseman. And then we have beautiful end papers and then some embossing on the front of the book as well. So happy to add this to my collection. I only have one more left to complete my collection of the Heartstopper graphic novels until, of course, the 5th book comes out. So there's that one. And then if you don't know what Heartstopper is about, where have you been? Living under a rock? I don't know. But that one is boy meets boy, falls in love. Very simple graphic novel. Does have some trigger warnings towards the end of the series, but overall just a great time. Love that series so much. Up next, we have Godkiller by Hannah Kanner. Absolutely stunning edition. I absolutely love the sprayed edges on this. The back is stunning. Gorgeous, gorgeous end papers. And of course, absolutely stunning underneath the desk jacket. All I know is this follows a Godkiller. I don't know. You are not welcome here, Godkiller. Kristen's family were killed by zealots of the fire god. Now she makes a living killing gods and enjoying it. That is until she finds a god she cannot kill. Seki, the god of white lies, has somehow bound himself to a young noble, and they are both on the run from unknown assassins. Joined by the disillusioned knight on a secret quest, they must travel to the ruined city of Belenradin, I don't know, where the last of the wild gods reside, to each beg a favor. Pursued by demons in the midst of a burgeoning civil war they will all face a reckoning. Something is rotting at the heart of the kingdom, and only they can be the ones to stop it. This one sounds absolutely amazing. I'm very excited to give this one a go. I've heard good things so far, and again, this cover, chef's kiss. Then we have Spice Road. This is by Maya Abraham. These names. Again, very, very stunning end papers, if it'll focus. Probably not. I meant to say stenciled edges, but you know what I mean. Absolutely gorgeous underneath the dust jacket as well. One of my favorite embossings underneath the dust jacket. It's stunning with a reversible dust jacket. This is a Fairyloot exclusive. It is YA fantasy. That's really all I know about it. I'm not going to try to explain the synopsis, but I've heard good things so far about this one coming out. It is a debut, so hopefully I can get to this one soon. Up next, we have Song of Silver Flame Like Night by Emily Winslow. Such a long title. What a mouthful. But this one, again, is another absolutely gorgeous edition. Is it going to focus? Oh, there it goes. Beautiful. This is an Owlcrate special edition, and it's stunning. Again, gorgeous, gorgeous end papers. Beautiful underneath the dust jacket. Absolutely stunning. I don't actually know the synopsis of this one, but Elliot Brooks was talking about this in one of her new fantasy videos, as well as a wrap-up, and she really enjoyed this one. So I'm excited to see how I feel about this. I need to read more Asian-inspired fantasy, so hopefully I will like this one. I have high hopes. Kind of randomly put in this stack, but I got my beloved, wonderful Owlcrate editions of the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. They are stunning. I'm obsessed with them. So we have, of course, the beautiful sprayed edges. Absolutely gorgina. We have her electronic signature on the back. I don't know if it'll focus on that, but it does have an electronic signature on both. We have absolutely stunning end papers. I believe they are different on both sides. No, they are the same on both sides. Sorry. We have some under the cover reversible dust jacket. Oh. Art of Bryce. Stunning. And then, of course, embossing on the front and the back of the book. Y'all, I can't even tell you when I opened this. I'm sad I didn't get it on camera, but when I opened this, I legitimately cried. And then I'm going to try to show one that doesn't have too big of spoilers, but they did come with overlays as well to go in specific chapters. So, love that. And then, of course, we have House of Sky and Breath, the beautiful sprayed edges. Gorgeous end papers, beautiful underneath the dust jacket, and then of course the embossing. So absolutely stunning. And I don't know, can I show any of these? Yeah, here's another one of the overlays. Stunning. I'm excited to get my Fairy Loot edition so I can compare, but I love these so much. One of my most prized possessions for sure. Another 2-book deal, and that is the Roots of Chaos series by Samantha Shannon, the Owlcrate special editions. Again, absolutely stunning. We love to see it. They didn't change too much on the covers of these ones, but the underneath is gorgeous. We have some really pretty end papers. Again, I don't know if they're the same. They are the same on both sides. And then absolutely stunning underneath the dust jacket. That is book 1. I'm sorry, that is the prequel to the series. And this is book 1, Priory of the Orange Tree. Am I okay? I'm not sure. And pages, gorgeous underneath the dust jacket. So I did read Priory last year, I believe, and I really enjoyed it. Somehow I got suckered into that set, but I do love them. They are gorgeous. Then in my Fairy Loot adult box, we got The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Samantha Chakraborty. S.A. Chakraborty, if you're more familiar with that name, the author of the David Boss series, the first one being City of Brass. Absolutely stunning, per usual, for Fairy Loot. We have this really gorgeous map as the end papers, and absolutely stunning underneath the dust jacket. That embossing is just everything I could have wanted. I've heard that this is quite a romp. It follows a pirate on sea. There is lots of shenanigans. It has a lot of humor. There is a very interesting narrator situation going on here. I'm very excited to read this one. I have read City of Brass. I didn't read the whole series, but I did read the first book, and I liked the author's writing, so I'm very curious to see what she does with this next book. Then we have another Fairy Loot book, and that is City of Nightmares. Again, stunning. This one has a whole bunch of crap in it. Hold on one second. Too many things. We have gorgeous end papers, beautiful underneath the dust jacket. Gosh, I just love all the special work that they're doing. I know some people say that it's too much, but I personally think that it's everything I could have wanted and more. Again, don't know what this is about. This looks like it might have like a steampunky vibe, maybe. It looks cute. I'm excited to give it a go. Hopefully I love it. And then the last true special edition that I have here is The Red Scrawler's Wake by Letty de Bodard. Ooh, might have butchered that, but gorgeous, like, ombre, stenciled edges, a book plate, beautiful end papers, gorgeous underneath the dust jacket. This is a sci-fi. I feel like Owlcrate doesn't do sci-fis very often, but I like that not all of their stuff is all fantasy. I like changing it up every once in a while. This one looks really beautiful. Again, don't know what it's about, but I'm willing to give a sci-fi in a book box a go, and hopefully like it. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but I am excited for that one. Up next, we're going to talk about a box that I got in the mail from a wonderful company that was so kind and sent me a box for review. I also have a code down in the description box below if you would like to get a discount. I'm just gonna give you a heads up. If you do click my link and decide to move forward with this company, I will get a kickback commission from that, just to be transparent. But if you are interested in checking out the company, I will leave it in the description box below, and that is Ardvark. They are a book subscription box that is a lot like Book of the Month. They focus on bringing lesser known titles in hardcover versions in a very inexpensive format. So I'm very excited to share the books that they sent me today. They did send me 3 books. I did give them some kind of guidelines of what I was looking for in my books, and I feel like they gave me some really perfect recommendations here, so I'm excited to share that with you. But if you do click the link, I believe that you will get your first hardcover book for $4. So I'm sorry, that sounds like a fantastic deal to me. Hardcovers are not cheap, especially adult hardcovers. I feel like they're in the range of like $30-something. So getting one for $4, that is a freaking steal. So check out the information down in the description box below. Thank you to Ardvark for sending this over to me. But the first one that I got was The Key to My Heart. This is by Leah Louise. This is more like women's fiction, whatever the hell that means, but it does pertain a romance. I believe the main character's husband passes away, and it's years later, and she still hasn't quite gotten back into life itself, and she ends up going on a date with a guy that kind of sparks something in her and makes her want to start living again, not just for a romance, but also for herself. So I'm excited to give this one a go. Then we have The Magician's Daughter by H.G. Perry, I don't know where I got Fairy from, H.G. Perry. This is a fantasy book. I don't really know too much about it, to be honest with you. It sounds like it's going to be really interesting. It is set on the backdrop of Ireland, and it sounds like a magical, fun time. So hopefully I like this one. I absolutely love the cover of this. I think it's so stunning, so I'm excited to get to this one and see what it's all about. I have heard somebody else talk about this one recently in their TBR, so I'm hoping that I can hear her thoughts and know if I'm really gonna like this one. And finally, the last book in that box is one that I already talked about, and that is For Her Consideration by Amy Spalding. I did get this one actually first before I got my one in Afterlight, but I'm excited to now have a hardcover copy of it, much bigger. I'll probably end up reading this version so I can keep the spray edges on the other one pristine. But again, I already talked about this one. I'm not going to talk about it too much more, but I do love the original cover. I think it's stunning. I will say that the thing that I love about Ardvark books is they make all of their covers that really beautiful, buttery, matte feeling, and that just makes me want to like rub my face on it. Love that, love that. So thank you again to Ardvark. I appreciate that. Now we're going to get into all of the books I brought into my home myself. I picked these up. I have a problem. But first, we hydrate. All right, first up top, we have Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. I did pre-order this book. This is the second book in the Knock 'Em Out series. These ones are small town romantic suspense books that are set in the same world, but they are not necessarily have to be read in a particular order. The first book was Naomi and Knox. This one follows Knox's brother, Nash. He is the sheriff of this town called Knock 'Em Out, and he ends up getting into a relationship with one of Knox's old friends, and she is a insurance investigator. So I loved this book so much. It was such a good time. I think I might even have liked it more than the first book. They are hot, they are sexy, they are thick, but they are so worth it. The humor in these are absolutely incredible, impeccable, wonderful, and I cannot wait for the third book in the series. I also picked up myself a copy of book 2 in the Zodiac Academy series. I slowly want to collect the original editions. I do have some special editions of the books 1 through 4 in the series, but I do want to collect the paperbacks. They are a lot of money though, and they are very thick, so I have to find room for them on my shelves, but I'm excited to slowly add these to my collection. All right, I did a thing. Are you ready? Just when you thought, Kaylani, how many more Sarah J. Maas books do you need? I don't know, 8? I bought the entire series of Throne of Glass again in the new editions because I think that they're stunning and I wanted them. So you saw nothing. You saw nothing. I'm sure you've seen the new covers. I'm not going to go through each and every book. This video is going to be way too long as is, but I do love the new covers. I'm sad that you can no longer buy the original covers, but I'm glad that I have them for myself because I love them. All right, moving on, we have Jade War and Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee, the second and third book in the Greenbone saga. I have been reading these ones from January to March, so I would like physical copies since I owned the first book, so I did buy books 2 and 3. I have read book 2. I am almost done with book 3. I have like 200 pages left, 150 pages left. So I love this series. It's been such a fun time. I'm so happy to be buddy reading this with Karina. I'm sad for it to be over, but I'm also so proud of myself for getting through some chunky adult fantasy books. If you don't know what the series is about, it follows 2 rival clans that control the production and distribution of a gem called Jade that enhances people's abilities, and these clans have been at war for quite a long time, but this war is now coming to a head, and you follow them over the span of like, I don't know, 20-30 years as they fight this battle between the Mountain Clan and No Peak. It's very interesting, very politically focused, but also so well done. The characters in here are just impeccable and so well written, and I'm curious to see how it's going to end. Up next, we have An Optimist's Guide to Heartbreak by Jennifer Hartman. I have talked about this book several times now, and I still don't know what it's about. So I'm going to read the synopsis because I also kind of want to know. It says, "There was once a girl with fireflies in her eyes and music in her soul. Remember her. She's important. She's the reason I panic bought the little brick house on Maple Street, the one I lived next door to for 8 magical years. Now that I'm back, digging up floorboards and lost journals, I can't stop thinking about the 2 people who grew up here. You see, that girl was my best friend, and this house was once hers. She also had a big brother who was my everything before circumstances turned him into nothing more than memories. That's why I applied for a job at the auto shop, unprepared to discover that my new boss, Cal Bishop, is now gruff, built, and covered in tattoos. I'm the sun to his overcast sky, and the smile to his surly solitude, a reminder of everything he longs to forget. My heart has a secret, and we're running out of time to fix our torn pages. Maybe the same girl who used to be the glue still holds the key to putting our pieces back together. See, I told you she was important. Toodles, Lucy." What? I'm so excited to read this. It's a short book for a romance, but it is a duology, I'm pretty sure, and I'm just so excited to read this book. Love Jennifer Hartman. It is on my April TBR, so hopefully I can get to it and love it. Then we have The Savior's Champion by Jenna Morrissey. I picked this one up for a video that I have not finished, and that is to read books recommended by my friends. This one was recommended to me from Mel. It is adult fantasy about a boy who ends up in a competition to become the savior. Basically, the man who marries this queen who has been waiting to ascend to her throne for quite some time. I don't really know too much. I only read the first 40 pages of the book, so hopefully I can get back into it soon, but Mel absolutely loves book 1, so hopefully I can read it, and hopefully maybe we can read book 2 together. We'll see. Then I was gifted a book, and that is The Viper's Nest by Tate James. I was gifted this by Clint. Thank you so much, Clint, for adding to my Tate James collection. This is book 4 in the series. This is the Kit Davenport series. I'm slowly building up my collection. I only have 2 more books left, and I will complete this. I have already read this series, love it so much, excited to have physical copies. Then I picked up Loath to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. This is the bind-up of her short story collection. First one being Under One Roof, then Stuck With You, and then Below Zero. I have read everything except for Below Zero. That is the only other book I have to read by this author, and I will have read everything that she has published so far. I liked the first novella, didn't really love number 2, and excited for number 3. So we shall see. Hopefully I like this one. Then I picked up a manga. I don't get manga very often, but I figured I've heard so much about the series that I would pick up Spy Family. Why did Target put the sticker on his face? Don't ask me. I hate this. I hate it so much. But I'm excited to get around to this one. This one follows a man who marries an assassin and their daughter is a telepath. Or maybe it's the other way around. I'm not really sure. I'm excited to give it a go. I've heard good things, so we shall see. Then we have Radiant Sin by Katie Robert. This is the 4th book in the Dark Olympus series. This one is a Apollo and Cassandra retelling. I don't really know too much about the actual synopsis of the book, but I do love the series so much. I have loved all 3 books so far, and I definitely want to read this one so I can catch up with the series, because I'm pretty sure there is one more book coming out in this series this year. Alrighty, then I bought 3 books to complete a series, and that is War, Famine, and Death by Laura Thalassa, the last 3 books in the 4 Horsemen series. I have read War. I still need to read Famine and Death, but I wanted to pick these up before they changed the covers. They did already change her covers for the Rhapsodic series. What is that called? The Bargainer series, so I was afraid they were going to change them, and I already owned the first one in the self-published edition, so I decided to pick up books 2 through 4, and if they change the covers, I'll probably eventually get those ones too, because I have no self-control, as we have learned. Then I bought duplicate copies of Under the Whispering Door and House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, because the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions had pretty sprayed edges, and I wanted them for my TJ Klune collection back there. So I did buy these 2. Under the Whispering Door is about a man named Wallace who has a heart attack and dies, and he is now living life in the in-between in this tea shop with a man named Hugo, where he is learning how to truly live his life. Very beautiful book. Loved it so much. And then, of course, we have House on the Cerulean Sea. This one follows a man named Linus Baker, who works at the place called Department in Charge of Magical Youth, and he gets called by extremely upper management to go to this house in the middle of the Cerulean Sea to check on this orphanage of very special kids that have very interesting powers and abilities, and he is supposed to go there to see if the person that is running the orphanage is fit to do the job and whether these kids are meant to be there. Very wonderful book again. I love T.J. Klune. I have given none of his books less than 5 stars, and I'm so glad to have these in my collection. Then we have Broken Perfect Lives by Katie Wismer. This is a romantic suspense bodyguard romance that has Hannah Montana vibes. This is the first romantic suspense that she has written, and I'm very excited to get around to this one. I have talked about Katie on my channel plenty of times. I'm so glad to have ordered a signed edition of this book. Almost all of my books I have by her are signed at this point, so I am very excited to get around to this. I am going to struggle with it because I have to read it physically. There is no audiobook, but her writing is very quick and easy to get through, so I'm sure I will read it at some point. Just when you thought I was done talking about Sarah J. Maas, we have A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I wanted to pick up the original orange edition to go with my series because I do own the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions that are black, so I figured I would add this one to my collection. So just a duplicate copy of a book I didn't need, but here it is. Then we have June 1st by Jennifer Hartman, another Jennifer Hartman book. I've heard really good things about this one. I've heard it's very sad and very heart-wrenching, which is something that Jennifer Hartman does really well. I literally don't know what this is about, but I'm excited to give it a go. I don't even want to read the synopsis. I know it's going to break my heart, and I am equally so ready and so scared for it. Then I picked up 2 more Tate James books. We have Dirty Truth and Shattered Dream. This is co-written with James and Eve. I'm slowly collecting the series. I believe there is 1 more book coming out in the series left, and once I have all 4 of them, I will read the series, but both of these authors are known for cliffhangers, so I have decided to hold off until I have them all, and then I will eventually read the series. I believe the series is, Boys of Belrose. I don't know exactly what it's about, but it sounds good, sexy, dirty. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I believe it's also White Shoes, so exactly what I need. Then we have A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. I bought this book specifically because it was recommended for those that liked Magnolia Parks, because it's just as messy and absolutely tragic as that book, and so I decided I want more pain, so I bought it. Also, it's thicker than a Snicker. On the back here it says, I saw him first, but it didn't matter because he saw her. He was my best friend and I was his. We couldn't be together, but we couldn't stand to be apart. And if you're not truly lovers, but you're so much more than friends, what exactly are you? Ooh. I know this one's going to just rip me to pieces. Bring it on. Then we have The Coveted Flawless by Elsie Silver. I've literally heard everybody and their mother talking about this book, and so I had to pick it up. This is a cowboy romance, small town. That's really all I know. I'm interested to give it a go. I believe maybe Bull Rider? I don't know. I'm interested. Hopefully I can read this one soon because I've heard literally nothing but good things, and it's high on my priority list. And then I bought a few Kennedy Ryan books. Just a few. Just a few. Just a few. Oh boy. Okay, so I bought the last book in the series of the traditional covers for Hoops series by Kennedy Ryan. This one is Hookshot. This one follows, man, I'm not gonna remember their name. Lotus and Keenan, is that his name? Yes, Lotus and Keenan. This is a series that I am always hesitant to recommend because it is so fantastic. It's beautifully written, it's gorgeous, it's wonderful. But these are really hard-hitting books, and so I feel like you have to be ready to read these ones if you're going to go into them. The second one is a little bit less hard-hitting, but books 1 and 3 are very, very tough to read in some spots, especially book 1. That one has huge trigger warnings for domestic abuse and rape, so please don't go into it lightly. Check the trigger warnings, but I love this series so much that I decided to pick up the illustrated covers as well because, again, no self-control. So that's what these ones are. I'm very excited to have these. I love Kennedy Ryan. She is quickly becoming one of my new favorite authors, and I'm very excited to read more from her, which is why I picked up the 2 books in the Kingmaker series, or I forget what the series is called. All the King's Men. The first one being The Kingmaker, and the second one is The Rebel King. I'm very excited to read these ones. I believe there's another book in this series called Queen's Move that I still need to get, but I'm very excited to read these. I don't know anything about them, but Kennedy Ryan has her name on it, so I'm going to buy it. And then I bought Grip by Kennedy Ryan as well. This is the second book in the series. The first one is novella, and then you have book 1. It says book 2 on here, but I'm calling it book 1, Grip, and then the next book in the series is Still. I don't own these ones just yet, but I'm happy to own Grip. I love this book so much. Again, very emotional. Kennedy Ryan writes really emotional reads, but so good. All right, we've made it to the end, but I get to show you another instance where I have zero self-control because I bought an entire series and I haven't read a single book by this author. I bought the Salacious Players Club series by what's her name? Sarah Kate. And the reason that I bought them, okay, I have a reason, I promise. The first book, Praise, recently got a new cover, and it's fucking fugly. It's so ugly. I hate it so much. It is the ugliest redone cover I think I've ever seen. I will put it up on the screen in case you're interested. It went from this to that. No, I hate it. So I got so terrified that they weren't going to have all of the books in this edition, so I bought them all in a panic. So now I have them all. The only thing I will say is this one doesn't quite match the other ones. I did buy this one secondhand. The rest of these have like a really beautiful matte finish. This one has a shiny finish. So that's the only thing that's a little bit different, but I'm just glad that I have the sexy men on the front. Like, you're lying. You're lying. Okay, thank you. This is one of those moments where I'm proud that I have no self-control. So those now added to my TBR. Okay, that's it. That was all of them. I hope you don't mind that I didn't give a lot of synopsis for these books, but there were so many of them, so many, that I couldn't. We would be here for fucking 5 hours. So let me know if you read any of the books I talked about today and which ones that you really, really enjoyed or which ones you really didn't. Probably won't sway me. I probably will keep them and read them eventually, but I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know any books that you bought into your home recently. I would love to know that as well. But that is the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thanks, baby. Turn it down like a sweet and ready. Keep it nice and steady.